Hey, how's it going, guys? Ahsoka episode 7. We're one more episode away from the season finale. So how did this one stack up? The bar obviously has been set by the Anakin Skywalker episode. I really don't think we're gonna get back up to that level because you brought Hayden Christensen back. So, but we're not living in the past. Let's look at this episode. I liked how it started. It started off solid. The music was good. As soon as the music started, I was like, whoa, this feels like Star Wars. And not only just the music, but the color grading, the lighting, it felt brighter. And then we moved to Coruscant, or at least I think it was Coruscant, this huge city, and it was bright out. And we move into this room before the council. Hera was standing before this council. That room was bright. Just the way it looked, just the brighter tones and the color grading, it reminded me more of Star Wars. And then you hear this voice off to the side, and it was C-3PO, man. That got me hyped. Leia had sent C-3PO really to help out Hera. It felt good. I thought that was a strong opening. And even when the title of the Ahsoka title comes up, that music there was cool. But then we transition over to Ahsoka. And the way she was fighting, when she was sparring, she was practicing her Jedi katas, the forms and all that. It's so stiff, dude. The way she moves, I know she's just practicing the forms, but it looks stiff, man. And it was cool. It was cool to see Hayden Christensen's Anakin as a hologram teaching her. And I talked about this when I did my reaction to the trailer. I was like, I mentioned the idea that it could have been a hologram, but I didn't hear any distortion in the voice in the trailer. So I thought maybe we might be getting a flashback to Clone Wars, but yeah, we're not getting a flashback to Clone Wars. It's very similar to the situation in Rebels where Ezra, I think it was Ezra, who was watching a hologram of Anakin Skywalker training with, similar, pretty much the same thing right here. And apparently, according to Ahsoka, he recorded 20 or so of these training holograms, and she was listening and watching that, and that was the last one. So that was cool to see. Like he was still training her. He left something behind for her to continue. So he was thinking of her. So that's cool. Despite her stiff lightsaber combat, I'm happy to at least see her smiling. She has a personality now. In the prior episodes, before she became Gandalf, she was really just stoic and dull. And it wasn't even stoic in an interesting way. It was really dull and boring. She just looked like she was bored. Everything bored her. But now at least she has some personality. The only thing holding her back now is she still moves like she's half asleep. Like when she laughs, she's just like, ha, ha. I don't know, dude. Like the way she moves. That's the only thing. But okay, let's move on. Let's move on from Ahsoka. The Pergils coming out of hyperspace, that looked cool. That looked really cool. I was talking to my brother. The design of the Pergils, they changed it a bit, right? In Rebels, they were sort of like purplish blue on top, white at the bottom. They sort of looked like a cross between an orca, a humpback whale, an octopus or whatever, like all meshed up together. But in this show, in Rebels, they're more. They got rid of the orca. There's no dual colors. They're more gray. They're more of like a humpback whale mixed with like a squid or an octopus or something. But they did look real cool coming out of hyperspace. I like that a lot. I think the other thing that made it feel like Star Wars is because we're switching from stuff that's happening in space, stuff that's happening like politically, stuff that's happening like on the ground, like that switch. Like Star Wars has all of that. And this episode had that, and it was the way it was shot was done well. So I liked it. This episode was real good up until the ending, but we're gonna get into that. So we jump to Sabine and Ezra talking, and this all that stuff, right? They're with the hermit crab people, and they're in these shell-looking ships or vehicles that are going across the plains. That whole thing of them going across the plains, it reminded me of the Battle of Naboo, right? Because of that big open plain. So I guess that reminded me of Star Wars also. Seeing all the different environments. And Sabine is talking about how Ahsoka is training her, and Ezra's first reaction was like, "Wait, what? Why? Exactly? Why did Ahsoka take Sabine on as a Padawan? Makes absolutely no sense. There was no indication that she was force sensitive at all." But then he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Come on, Ezra, your first reaction." That was everybody's reaction. Why on earth? It makes absolutely no sense. Why did Ahsoka take Sabine as a Padawan? She's not a Jedi. She's not for... Just like Hu Yang said, the Academy wouldn't have taken her. And while Sabine and Ezra are busy catching up, Baylan and Shin are coming in on their wargs, about to battle the Riders of Rohan. That's literally what it looked like. Little did they know, these guys are coming in on those wolf creatures, and Baylan gives Shin the mission to go and take down Sabine and Ezra herself. I feel like that's a lot to handle. I mean, she could probably take care of Sabine, but maybe she could take care of Ezra at the same time. But both of them at the same time, I don't know. Maybe that might be a bit hard. So I was surprised that he trusted her. So I was ready to see Shin in action completely. Like, I wanted to see her push to her limits because she looks awesome. I mean, everybody knows. I've seen all these edits on YouTube, man, of Shin. I mean, her character design is awesome. Baylan's character design is awesome too, but Shin's character design specifically is awesome. So I was ready to see her in action because Baylan apparently had something else to do. So in the meantime, Ahsoka tries to reach out to Sabine via the Force. And here's the thing, dude. Does Sabine need to have a connection with the Force in order to feel Ahsoka? I feel like she does, right? Is she, like, up until now, she doesn't really have any strong connection to the Force at all. I mean, she's just like any other person. The Force is in all living things. It's in a plant, okay? That's what Sabine is. Just like anybody else, right? Like, Han Solo has the Force in him, but he has no real connection to the Force. So how did she sense Ahsoka? I mean, Ahsoka reached out to her, but Sabine needed to be able to receive that, which means she needed to have some sort of connection, right? So that felt like, okay, how did that happen? But so while that's going on, Shin is coming down with it really reminds me of a cross between Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. They're riding these wargs into battle, coming down on all the hermit crab people, Ezra and Sabine. And in the meantime, Ahsoka pinpoints where Sabine is, lands, and Baylan is there. So Baylan and Ahsoka are having this fight while Shin is going down and confronting Ezra and Sabine. So I was ready, man. I was ready to see Ezra in action. I was ready to see Shin in action, dude. And this is where the episode starts going downhill, right? All up until this point, I was fine. I guess the only part that I didn't really like was how stiff Ahsoka was training. But, I mean, that was cool seeing Anakin and all that stuff. But, like I said, it felt like Star Wars. The way it was shot, the way it was paced, the way it looked, the color grading, the lighting, all that stuff. And then it just took it downhill with this final battle, right? Not necessarily the Ahsoka versus Baylan fight. That was fine. I mean, like I said before, the lightsaber combat doesn't touch the prequel trilogy. But the fight, especially between Shin, Ezra, and Sabine, dude, I wanted to see Ezra back in action. He refused the lightsaber. First, before he even refused, I was like, come on, Sabine, give him the lightsaber. She was running around with the lightsaber on her hip, not even using it, blasting. Why? You literally have the most civilized weapon on the face of the earth on your belt and no one's using it. Ezra is just pushing people around with the Force, saying like, oh, the Force is my ally. What, are you too good for a lightsaber now? And I mean, it's cool. It's cool. Like, okay. I was like, whoa, okay, all right. Let's see. Maybe your time spent on this planet, maybe you communed with the Force and I don't know. Let's see what you got. Okay. So that was okay. But they weren't making use of the lightsaber. And then Sabine trying to give it to him at one point, and he was like, no. And she didn't even use it. And then she started to use it. And it just felt like an excuse for Sabine to use the lightsaber. That's what it felt like. It just felt like, hey, we want Sabine to be a Jedi. We want Sabine to use the lightsaber. And it felt just like it felt like they were creating a situation for her to use the lightsaber, and that's it. It felt so forced and out of place. Because I wanted to see Ezra back in. It's his lightsaber, dude. Just take it. I wanted to see Shin versus Ezra. Because in that state, I feel like Shin could have taken him. You had somebody who's not a Jedi using a lightsaber. Yeah, granted, she was trained with the dark saber and did some training with the lightsaber also. And then you had Ezra just pushing people around with the Force. I don't know, man. It was that was bad, dude. That looked so silly. You're running around pushing people, and you're not using your lightsaber. That was just dumb. Like, that was our one chance to see Ezra back. That was our chance to see Ezra back in action, and what? We didn't get it? Why? It makes no sense to me. It was just like, dude, just use the lightsaber, man. Why is Sabine using your lightsaber? You have a Jedi here, and he's not using the lightsaber? And also, let me know this. Maybe I missed it. Why are the Night Sisters serving Thrawn? Maybe they mentioned it in the show. They probably did. I probably just don't remember. But why do the Night Sisters owe anything to Thrawn? Why are they serving him? I don't know. But yeah, man, I thought it was good. It started off good. The pacing, the lighting, the color grading, the feel, like the jumping from space to land, it felt like Star Wars to me. The music, and then that last fight just took me down. Like, what was the point of that? Like, I mean, I know the point was just to have Sabine use the lightsaber. Why are we pushing this? Sabine is a Mandalorian. Let her be a Mandalorian. Why are we making everybody a Jedi? All right, just let the Jedi use his lightsaber. That's all I'm asking. So what did you guys think about the episode? Let me know down below in the comment section. Did you feel the same way, or did you think that was cool? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.